Hi, I'm Melanie from Nova Scotia, Canada, and this is Adventures in Groceryland. We are on week 5 of what started as an isolation pantry purge. We had no choice. Weeks 1, 2, and 3, we spent no money. Week 4, we spent $18.50, and we were still actively eating items from the freezer. And week 5, we did spend some money, around $20, and I keep flip-flopping back and forth between, do I feel like I went totally off the rails, or are we still actively and successfully purging items from the pantry? Some of the items that I spent money on were for a little bit of a restock. It was a good buy. And I keep saying to myself, like, keep in mind, you still only spent $20, even though you got some items to eat currently, and you did stock some stuff into your pantry. The total was right around $20. So I feel a little unsuccessful because I'm spending money, but we are actively still successfully eating items out of the freezer. We had a really great week of meals. You will see there is no supper for Saturday night. We were invited to a birthday supper. The only thing we were asked to bring was lactose-free cheese, which we had, lactose-free sour cream, which we had. So that's all we needed. I didn't take a video. It was at somebody else's house. So no video of that, but it was tacos, fajitas, nachos, what the birthday person requested to have. So that turned out really well. Check out what we had this week and some of the fun things that we were able to make and clear items out of the pantry. I went into this week with the plan to redeem $10 worth of my PC Optimum points at Atlantic Superstore to get some fresh items. I'm very aware, even though I'm spending a little bit of money, that I have items in the freezer that I want to use up. So I'm being thoughtful about the meal planning that I'm doing, and I say planning very loosely. I do not have anything written down, but I am planning on combining the ingredients that I've purchased with items in the freezer so that I can make meals that will help purge some of those items out of the freezer and the pantry. So that being said, I have quite a few chicken breasts downstairs, and we've loosely been talking about fajitas, except we are almost out of peppers. I saw this marked down. It was $3.49. I have in my mind that I'd like to have a lasagna. There's lots of ground beef downstairs. We found an old box of lasagna noodles that the best before date was 2022. So again, that's best before. It's not expired. That is something we want to use up. And so I bought cottage cheese. This was $4.99, lactose free. And I got these long eggplants that were 50% off. We commonly add zucchini into lasagna. I haven't made lasagna. I can't even remember actually the last time I made it. But when I saw these, I immediately went back in the store and picked up the cottage cheese. I was just kind of going around the store, looking at markdowns and kind of looking for inspiration of what I was going to spend my $10 on. I was open. I just knew that I wanted to get some fresh items. And then this was a find. These were on for 99 cents. I didn't even notice them. It was another shopper. She engaged one of the store staff and asked for clarification for the 99 cents. And so, of course, I heard 99 cents, and that got my attention. So I started paying attention, and he came over and said, yes, they're 99 cents. They were just looking to clear them out. So for the peppers, the cottage cheese, the tomatoes, and the eggplant, I ended up paying a total of 84 cents out of pocket. I also shopped at Giant Tiger. Mushrooms were $1.44, and the coleslaw pack was $1.97. We really enjoyed having the coleslaw with several of the meals that we made. One was the turkey dinner and the other one was the poutine. So it's something that we like. It just goes nice as a side and will help kind of round out some of those meals that we are making as we're purging. I actually ate, I don't usually take just snacks for my lunch, but we were eating at the beginning of the week. It kind of started out last week because I was eating heavier in the night. We were having turkey dinner. So I wanted to have a light lunch. But 2 days last week, I ran errands. And so my lunch consisted of multiple items that I would take kind of as a snack to go with leftovers that I would take as my main item. So I got some granola bars. The peanut ones were $1.80 and the almonds were $1.90. And I got those at Shoppers Drug Mart. And I totally wasn't planning on getting this at all. But I noticed that this was on sale for $1.88 at Walmart. We still have yogurt left that we would use in smoothies or cooking. It's Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt or possibly vanilla. I can't remember. But not for something that we would usually just have as a snack. And they had this. Peach is the handsome one's favorite. So I thought that that would be really nice just to bring this home. $9.83 was my out of pocket cost. And I was open as well for stocking the pantry. If I would have seen something that was an incredible buy, I wouldn't have hesitated in picking it up. Not necessarily for current eating, but for replenishing items or stocking items in the pantry. So now we're actually going to talk about my pantry. It has taken a bit of a hit because I haven't regularly been purchasing groceries for quite a while. Even leading up to Christmas, I wasn't shopping that much. And then, it was isolation and the unplanned no spend. So I have been keeping an eye, and like I just said, anything that is a crazy good deal, I was willing to spend the money. Shoppers Drug Mart had peanut butter. These are 1 kg packages or bottles or jars. No name for $2.99. That's a phenomenal buy. We eat a lot of peanut butter. I cook with it in recipes. We eat it as snacks. We make our own bread. So a snack at night might be peanut butter and jam on toast. We like to have it, and we like to have a substantial amount in the pantry because we use a substantial amount. So $2.99 times 4, 3, 6, 9, 12, $11.96 right there. I'm not sure how we want to talk about that in relation to my actual eating budget, because we have peanut butter, actually 2 open jars right now in the pantry, one of No Name Crunchy, and we have it's like a natural kind that the oil rises to the top and you stir it, but the handsome one doesn't like that kind. So I'm only using that. He's eating the other stuff. So this is 100% going into my pantry. Either way, $11.96 plus $9.83. That brings my total to just over $20. However, we're only going to be eating the $9.83. So I don't know if that counts. I grabbed one of the pre-prepared meals that I had in the freezer frozen, thinking that this was soup that I was going to have for lunch today, and it's actually cabbage rolls that my mother-in-law made. I'm really excited, actually. I forgot those were in there. For supper tonight, we are going to clear a few things out of the freezer. These sausages, you can tell we should be using them up, and if I remember correctly, they are hot Italian. I got this out of a flash food box, and the last time I cooked it, I just made way too much. I didn't realize how much noodles it made, so I'll be more sensible with how much I cook. So we'll probably use up a third at least of this pack. We have broccoli that we processed from a flash food box, and we are going to use an Alfredo sauce. That's what we're going to have for supper tonight. Delicious pasta with sausage and broccoli in an Alfredo sauce. Today we are having smoothies. I forgot to put the yogurt in, so I had to go on top. It is orange juice, strawberries, blueberries, protein powder, and I used a full scoop of protein powder in our last smoothie, and I found it a bit gritty, so I pulled back to a half a scoop this time. And once this blends up, I'm gonna throw some frozen Swiss chard on top. Smoothies. Smoothies with banana, strawberries, blueberries, Swiss chard, some orange juice, some protein powder. Same ones, same kind. Preparing for next week. I'm looking to get some lunches established. Last week my lunches were pretty light and consisted of snacks, but I'm going to be very regular with my schedule and minimal errands to run. So lunches in the lunchroom will work great, and I'm looking to make some turkey soup. Onions, carrots, frozen turkey, and noodles. I'm going to go into the chicken noodle soup, or turkey noodle soup. Turkey noodle soup. I topped this one with a couple little pieces of ripped up spinach. I'm not sure if I'm going to put spinach in the entire pot. I'm going to try this and then I'll make a decision. 4 turkey soups prepared for lunches this week. Okay, I have got everything set up but not heated yet. So what I did today is I brought my soup that I made yesterday. I have 4 cherry tomatoes and a couple of little pieces of spinach. And these cherry tomatoes are not the new ones that I bought, but old ones that are kind of best before. I'm not even sure if I'd use them for fresh eating now, but cooked would be fine. So I'm going to heat this, and then I'm going to cut the tomatoes, rip up the spinach, throw it in, and it'll be a little bit of fresh in with the turkey soup. And this looks super fresh and fancy, kind of restaurant quality, with those little bit of fresh added into the soup. Very excited. I'm looking forward to this. I'm making 7-layer dinner with the sausages out of the freezer that I wanted to use up. Start with potatoes sliced and salt and pepper. That's layer 1. I am going to add carrots, onions, peas, rice, which isn't on the counter, and then I am going to add the sausages on top, 6 layers. And then we're going to mix the soup. I normally use tomato soup. We don't have any, so we're going to use cheddar cheese soup instead. And then we'll bake the whole thing. I've heard people call this shipwreck before, but we've always called it 7-layer dinner. Okay, we've got everything in there. We mixed the can of soup with a can of prepared skim milk that we did from skim milk powder. And you can see here the layers, carrots, the peas, there's rice in there, potatoes and onions and sausages on top. Now we're going to bake it. Good thing I thought to put a tray underneath the casserole dish, because everything boiled out over the lid. You can see there. Way more over here. So I took the lid off, put it back in. I just tested it again. So I'm just testing to see the potatoes, if they're soft. And I still feel like this could cook a little bit more. Yeah, the potatoes are still quite a bit firm for my liking. Back in it goes. This smells amazing. It looks pretty good. It looks incredibly hot. Obviously, it's still boiling there, like it's going to burn our mouths off. So we have to let this cool before we can serve. Looks delicious. I got this garden salad pack for free. Sobeys has them for $3.99. $3 off tag brought it down to 99 cents. and I used a fast fuel coupon to get it totally for free. Today my lunch is very similar to yesterday. I really enjoyed the fresh addition of the tomatoes and the spinach. I also have a brown bread roll that I made last week and a granola bar. Supper tonight is hamburgers with garden salad and the last of the potato salad. And I topped the garden salad with a strawberry vinaigrette dressing that I made. I don't know if you can see it on there. So we have a lot of freezer jam. And I'm just not sure if we're going to be able to eat all the freezer jam. So I'm trying to think of creative, out of the box ways to use it up. I Googled vinaigrette dressing. It called for blended strawberries, honey, cider vinegar, oil, salt, and pepper. So because the strawberry jam has some sugar in it, I didn't add any honey, but I used jam, cider vinegar, oil, salt, and pepper. I whisked it all together. Haven't tasted it yet, so I'm really hopeful that this is going to turn out well. This is my plate. The handsome one wanted to have a double burger, so his is bigger than mine. I just want to talk about one more thing. So we made the garden salad. All of the items I actually just got, except for this cucumber. Why don't you take a look at this cucumber? This looks in pretty good shape, huh? Do you want to know when I bought this? December 24th. I bought it. I actually bought 2 for a veggie tray that I was making. And the majority of this one was left over. Today is January 24th. 1 month. So it really makes me ponder how fruits and vegetables can be modified, so genetically modified, to last longer for shipping. I don't know, like, this is one of the reasons why we have a garden. Obviously, I have no garden in the middle of winter, so no cucumbers. That's why I'm buying them at the store. But it's from reasons like this, 100% why we grow a lot of our own produce in the summer. Anyways, just something to be thoughtful and mindful of. That's 1 month old. 1 month. Crazy. I have eaten some of the salad. The dressing is amazing. I will 100% make it again. Last week, when I made the cranberry sauce to go with the turkey dinner, I didn't use the entire package of cranberries because I had a plan and that I needed some cranberries for. I wanted to make a cranberry lemon loaf. For Christmas, I had purchased these cran lemon loaf mixes. 2 came together and they're gluten-free. So I was really looking forward to having them over Christmas, of course. Then we got sick. That didn't work out. I'm really excited. Now they came with little, like you can see in the picture here, they came with little dehydrated pieces of cranberries in them, but we love cranberries. I almost always have frozen cranberries in the house. So my plan was I put about a half a cup of cranberries in the mix and stirred it up, and then a couple on top to garnish it. I did taste some off of the spoon after I filled my loaf pan. It tastes extremely lemony. I'm so excited. The other half has actually asked me to make this multiple times. So we're making it tonight. I'm really excited. And it actually calls for a glaze. Let's see here. Glaze, mix 1/3 cup of icing sugar with a tablespoon of lemon juice and drizzle over the warm loaf. I have tons of icing sugar, and I actually have a little bag that I want to be used up, so I've got that here. Yeah, just really excited about the entire process. And This was really simple. Besides for the mix, I needed eggs, oil, and Greek yogurt. All things that I almost always have in the house. So very excited. I've never made this kind of a glaze before. I think it turned out okay. We are going to try this now. This looks pretty darn tasty. Soup again for lunch today. I did add the cherry tomatoes and the spinach in like I normally do, but I just wanted to show what I've been doing with my rolls. They're getting a little old now. There's nothing wrong with them except they're pretty dense. So what I have been doing is I have been doing half of the roll, crumbling it up, putting it on top of my soup like crackers, stirring it in. Tastes pretty good. And then when I've eaten that, I'll do the rest. And it's just a way, I don't know, it's just not 100% fresh because it's been a while since I made it. And I also have a snack today. I am getting ready to start making the lasagna. We took out this club pack of ground beef, one of the items that I had targeted that I wanted to use out of the fridge. It's going to be used in the lasagna as well as one other recipe for sure. And depending on how much it ends up being when I'm done, possibly a third recipe. This is the long eggplant. We've got it grated, and I am going to use this how I would use zucchini in the recipe. I'm just going to add a layer into the lasagna. I'm also adding spinach. I have a paper towel in here because one of our followers a while back gave me the tip to put paper towel in, and it will help the longevity of my spinach, and I find that it actually really does help. These are leftover tomatoes that I have been eating in my soup every day. They're not the greatest, so I'm just going to cut these up and add them into the meat sauce when I'm cooking it, because I have fresher cherry tomatoes that I can take in my lunch. Here is the cottage cheese. Now this is where it becomes interesting. Finding this was one of the reasons that we thought, yeah, we need to make a lasagna. This was best before date was the end of 2022. But then we realized we had also this many lasagna noodles, and it looks like two different kinds here. The rich kind, well, I guess maybe just one of those, that need to be used up. Obviously the open box is older than the box that was in the pantry. So we might be having lasagna 2 times in our future. Anyways, I'm going to get started. Got about half. I know it doesn't look like, well, maybe a third I've got set aside for something else that I want to use it for. I've added a can of diced tomatoes, a can of pasta sauce and spices, and stirred it up. This is quite liquidy, and it needs to be for lasagna. So you need to start with the meat sauce on the bottom, or if you're not using meat sauce and you're just using sauce, needs to be on the bottom before you put your first layer of noodles. Otherwise those noodles would just scald right to the bottom of your pan. I'm going to layer here more meat sauce, then I'm going to put some eggplant, the cottage cheese. So this is sauce, 1 layer of noodles, sauce, eggplant. The first time I read a recipe for lasagna that called for an egg in with the cottage cheese, I thought it was pure craziness, but I did it, and it turned out so amazing that I always do it now. It calls for 2 eggs and 2 cups, so it would be this entire 500 milliliters. But when I realized that I had so many noodles, I am going to try to make a very thin ricotta layer, 1 egg and half of the, it's not ricotta, it's cottage cheese, half of the cottage cheese. So I mixed the egg and the cottage cheese together, and then I added in about a cup of spinach, maybe a little more. I didn't measure it. I just took a couple handfuls out of the container. And then I'm going to spread this next onto here. We will top with more noodles and more sauce. So this is going in the oven, 350 or 375 to cook. You'll notice there's no cheese on top because I don't top it with cheese until it's done cooking. Once I bring it out of the oven, I will sprinkle the grated cheese that I have on top, and just the heat of the dish itself will melt the cheese. To save boilovers, I have it on a cookie sheet, and that will save my oven from getting extra messy because I'm sure I'm going to have a little bit of spillover. I have about 1.25 cups of prepared meat sauce left over. I have at least half the eggplant. That eggplant was $1.40 once it was marked down, and I sure got quite a lot of value out of that. I'm going to freeze this half in the hopes that we are going to have another lasagna in our future. Or something else, I'm not sure. And this is what it looks like out of the oven. Then we'll do a little sprinkle of cheese. Lasagna and garden salad. The strawberry vinaigrette was such a hit last night, we decided to make it again for supper tonight. You can see it on there. It looks so good. And the lasagna looks really good. You can see my layers in there. Yeah. Looking forward to this for sure. Today, I'm not taking a lunch to work. We are doing dip day at work. That means everybody is bringing a dip, and then everybody gets to have all the dips. So I thought, what do I have that I don't need to buy any supplies, keeping in mind with the pantry purge? And I had all of the ingredients to make a spinach dip, and we have crackers. So this is my contribution today, spinach dip and crackers. Tonight we're using up one of the chicken breasts out of the freezer, some of the green peppers that we got in the discounted package, and onions, and we are making fajitas. Woo! The fajitas ready to be served. I topped mine with salsa and a teeny bit of cheese. I'm staying clear of the sour cream, even though we have some. Dip day today. Ooh, there was a lot of dairy and a lot of dips. So it was, I'll just stay clear tonight and enjoy these fajitas. They look and smell really good. So now that you've seen the meals that we were able to make this week, you guys be the judge. Let me know. Do you think I'm off the rails, or do you think that I'm still proceeding slow but sure successfully with the pantry purge? Keep in mind, these are the things that we were able to purge. 2 different kinds of sausages. Both of the packages had crystallization in them, so happy to get those out of there. A club pack of ground beef, again, had crystallization in the package, so definitely happy to get that out of there. Lasagna noodles, oh my goodness, I don't even know how old those were. The turkey carcass, that's gone out of the freezer now. So even though that's a fairly recent item, it takes up a lot of space. So all in all, I feel like we're still on track, but you guys let me know what you think. Thanks so much for following along and watching. If you haven't liked the channel or subscribed to the channel, that would be great if you could do so. Share the videos and leave me your comments. Have a fantastic week, everybody.